Today is bike build day. We're in the workshop, I'm super excited, and in the hot seat we've got my Haibike ALLMTN 2.0. This isn't a brand new bike, it's actually a bike that has received a fair bit of use in the past, and it was always intended to be a freestyle type build. However, I never really fully committed, whereas this time round, or today, I'm going full left wing and we are going super different and making it a freestyle bike. Now, there might be some of you sat there right now wondering what is a freestyle bike, what's the difference between a normal bike and what you're trying to do. As we go through the video, you will see from the mods what I'm creating, but my idea for having two separate bikes is my ALLMTN 7, the carbon fibre one, is the most up-to-date model, and the way that it's set up, it does absolutely everything. I can shred downhill, I can do trails, I can ride uphill, and I can hit jumps. And it does all them things very, very well. But the problem is, it does everything really well. And with this bike, I want this to be focused on just hitting jumps and doing tricks. And to make a setup that's perfect for that, you need fast rolling tyres, which obviously compromises grip because they have less knobbles on them. You need stiff suspension, and you want to make the bike as minimal as possible, i.e. removing droppers and gears and all that sort of stuff. Things that on a comfortable trail bike that does everything are necessities that you want to have. So this is last year's model. As you can see, the forks are completely stripped out of it. We've got a rear brake which I've run prior to the video because it's all internally routed, but it does need a bleed. The clock's dangling because that is not going to be in the normal place of the handlebars. We have upgraded the rear shock. We've got a Fox DPX2 in there, which is looking amazing with the Kashima coating. It's the PWX2 Yamaha motor, which is the most up-to-date Yamaha motor. It's super powerful, but I had a spare one of these centre locking chain rings in the chrome, which Haibike make. I've put that on. It looks really, really, really nice. The gear cable, as you can see, that is really short, and that's because, once again, that is not gonna, its final destination is not the handlebars. It's going to be mounted underneath here with a special bracket which I need to make throughout this video, but we'll come to that in a bit. We've got the derailleur. This is intended to be out the box a 12-speed bike, so big sprocket. However, like I said, the plan for this is to be minimal. So I've got a shorter cage, much smaller Dior XT derailleur that I had laying around. There's so many things I could explain now. I'm going to go into detail when we get fitting things. We've got a pile of brand new and old parts combined here. Luckily, most of the major ones are all brand new. And I think it's time to kickstart this build. I've roughly explained it. I'm absolutely buzzing to start putting things together, and I'm sure you're excited to see things going onto the bike. So first thing I'm going to do is undo the Foxes and get the forks fitted. This is always a special one. Brand new Fox forks. Oh, 36s. Look at that, gloss black. The bike's super shiny actually, and you can't really see it even from the camera, but where I've polished the bike up, you've got like really like gold little bits in the paint, which looks awesome, and the same with the Foxes. That is going to be a match made in heaven. Look at that. There we have it. The front of the bike has just been fitted, and those Foxes look absolutely incredible. Up front we've got the Gusset bars, the S2, which are running a 30mm rise. They actually haven't been cut down. They have been used, these bars, they're not brand new, but I haven't ever cut them down, and they need to be, because otherwise when I do bar spins that's a bit too close. So we'll go a bit narrower, probably not as narrow as the jump bike, which is 720, but we'll do that once the bike is on wheels, because then I can actually feel like what I want it to be like. We've got the S2 stem, which is in the shortest length, which is 33mm with a 35mm clamp. Up here we've got the hole in the head from Gusset, which enables the front brake cable to come up the back of the fork into the steerer tube and then out, and that's what allows you to do bar spins. You can get 2 bars out of that. I was saying about mods, an automatic bar spinner, look at that, electronic. No, I'm joking. Right, the brakes are on now, so I need to get them bled up, because where I've had them all apart they need a bleed. That's the next job. Like I previously mentioned, I'm going to be running EBC pads. I started using them not so long ago. They're a super soft compound, so the life of them is a little bit shorter, but the performance is absolutely phenomenal. I really rely on the feel of my brakes, and these provide the perfect feel, and yeah, they're awesome. So let's get them fitted. Onto wheels, let's dive into the Halo box. Within here we have Halo Gravitas 27.5-inch wheels. I'm going to be running 27 on the front and the rear, no mullet on this bike. DJD Superdrive hub, which obviously as always sounds insane. And we've obviously got custom stickers. I've decided to go for silver with this build. It should marry the colour scheme absolutely perfect. Yeah, that's gonna look sick. The wheels are fitted. I think we need to just take a minute to step back and take a look at the beast in all its glory. It looks absolutely amazing. It's so shiny, and I haven't even used Bike Protect on it yet. Front wheel, Halo Gravitas. That's Halo's most heavy duty wheel that they make. It's the downhill rim. I intend on giving this bike a bit of a beating, so I decided for the wheels we'll go for the most sturdy option. And then to the rear wheel, which we have also just fitted, and this is once again where this bike gets a little bit trick. So Halo Gravitas, DJD rear hub, 120 clicks of engagement, which is perfect for the extra power from the e-bike. And as you can tell by this cassette, it's not your normal cassette. This is supposed to run a 12-speed setup on it, so you have a big derailleur and a big selection of gears. However, for the Freestyle bike, a lot of people, when they make sort of jib park fun bikes, they will actually even single speed them. But to me, I didn't want a single speed an e-bike. I know that making a Freestyle e-bike is a little bit left wing and a bit different anyway, which is what I wanted. But to have a motor and single speed just didn't really make a huge deal of sense. So we've gone for, I've tried to replicate what I have on the downhill bike, which is six, well, it's a 7-speed on the downhill bike. I've got 6, and then I have this spacer here at the bottom, which is one of the mods, and that is the free coaster gear. So what that enables me to do is click down onto that, which is just some spacers, and then I can do fakies and roll backwards without having to pedal. So it's a nice little hack and a nice little feature that which I will be able to get from this bike. Based on what I've just said, you might also be standing there thinking, why is he doing this to an e-bike? They're heavy, you can get lighter bikes that you can do that to. Honestly, some of the best days riding I've had are at bike parks like Chicksands, Twisted Oaks, Phoenix, Cycleworks, which is they're very jump orientated places as opposed to long runs, and just lapping on an e-bike and going back up, run, and doing that all day at lightning speed is honestly absolutely amazing. And this is going to be a perfect tool for them kinds of bike parks, which we'll actually be riding one of those in the next video, might I add. Tyres as well, actually, I forgot to mention tyres. I wanted a lightweight rolling tyre. I didn't want huge knobbles which are going to offer a load of grip but also offer a load of drag. I'm not really going to be racing around corners on this bike, so I've actually gone for the Hands Damp. It is a tyre which does offer plenty of grip for what I need, but it's also small enough and very fast rolling, which is absolutely perfect for steaming into big jumps. Gears are firing absolutely perfect. The Freak Coaster is working an absolute dream in the stand. Obviously we need to actually try it out in person. The only thing that's left to do, we've got the pedals fitted, Gusset S2s, look at that. Very, very nice and fresh. The bike looks absolutely amazing. I fitted the grips, cut the bars down off camera. So they're being run at 760. I run 720 on my jump bike. With this bike being a bit bigger, I didn't want to quite go that narrow because it'd feel like a micro scooter. But I think that's perfect. There's plenty of clearance here, which allows me to spin bar spins. I'm also running this front brake slightly over because when you're doing like no-handers and bar spins, where I'm only used to using the back brake normally doing that, I've had it before where I've put my hand on and obviously grab the lever and you like, it's a weird thing, you like lock onto it and can't let go, which is pretty scary because if you land like that, then it'll result in a huge over the bars. So I've moved it over slightly to try and avoid that happening. Yeah, the bike's looking sweet. All that's left now is to create the mod which allows the shifter to sit where the bike stand is. So I need to get it out the stand. What I'm going to do is get a bit of handlebar, an old bit, cut it down so I've got a bit of tube, and then on my parts pile I've got these clips which actually look a bit naff, and then we've got this rubber so that can like go between the frame and the bar, and then hopefully allow the clock to be that side facing up so I can see what's happening, and then the shifter there. I know it probably seems a bit weird. You're not really going to change gear a huge amount on this bike, I don't think. There isn't even a huge selection of gears, but it does need to be there just in case you do. It's going to be out the way and not really bothered with, because the main thing for this is keeping the handlebars clear for all them tricks. So I'm going to get this bracket made and check in with you once it's actually a real thing. The bike is complete. The mod has been created. I am happy with it, but I do know that in the future there is potential to make something that's a bit more, let's say, hard wearing and a bit more aesthetically pleasing. It doesn't look too bad there. This side's a bit more cumbersome, but you have got this space here, and I know that there is a bolt and a strong hole in the frame here, which you could have a bracket come up and you could have the clock mounted in here, and then you could have the shifter on the side. It'd probably be a bit more handy being up there rather than down between your legs, and it wouldn't interfere with the suspension. This doesn't, but it's very, very close. I'm stoked with this bike though. It's come out exactly how I wanted it to. It's a very playful, fun bike, does bar spins, and we've seen all the gadgets and gizmos, and I guess the next thing now is to get out and give it a try, which is actually going to be in the next video. So stay tuned to see this bike on its first run out and be put through its paces. I hope you've enjoyed this build. I know that I have. I find workshop stuff so satisfying these days. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Please leave some comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video where we're shredding this monster.